All right, in this video, we're going to talk about what normal real estate agents do and then what successful real estate agents do, right? There's a lot of agents in the United States that make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year, and then there's a lot of them that make $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 or more $1,000 a year, okay? So what is the difference, by the way? What is the difference between one versus the other, and why can some make a lot more money than others, right? And you're probably asking yourself right now, how you can make more money, right? If you're a real estate agent, you're watching this, you want to become a real estate agent, okay? Right now, currently in the United States, I believe there's somewhere around 1.4 million real estate agents, and the statistics aren't very good, right? Your average agent, I think 87% of agents are not licensed in 2 years, okay? Out of the 13%, I would love to know how much money the average agent makes. It's not that high, right? So let's just kind of jump right into it, okay? So basically, you don't want to be the average real estate agent. Now, what is the average real estate agent doing, okay? Here's a couple of things that they're doing. Obviously, they're late all the time, okay? They can't show up to a meeting on time. They're not ever at the brokerage. They're not at the team. They're not seeking out support, right? They're not making calls. They're not doing the things that they should be doing. Now, however, they think that they are, right? So you talk to a normal real estate agent and you're like, hey, like, what are you doing, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh man, I'm so busy. I'm working all the time. I'm busy all the time. I'm getting leads, right? I'm making it happen. And the reality of it is that they're supposedly busy all the time, but they're not closing any deals, right? And what's interesting about that is that if you were actually busy, AKA you were doing money-making activities, okay, your MMAs, and you were moving that needle in your career, right? Then ultimately you'd be making a lot more money than you are. Okay, so let's talk really quick about what you can do, right, to become more than average, better than your average real estate agent, right? Step number one is you have to use systems and processes. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, here's what I mean. Are you implementing systems and processes, right? So let's say you get a lead, okay? You get this lead, and you get the lead from an open house, right? You get the lead from expired, calling expireds, calling fsbos, right? However you get the lead, okay? You're actually busy. You're moving the needle forward. You're doing money-making activities, and now you have a lead, okay? What are you doing with that lead? I would say that out of 10 or 20 or 100 leads, not that many of them are ready to buy or sell right here, right now, today, okay? So are you using systems and processes to follow up with the lead, okay? So you might have a CRM, okay? A CRM that is gonna follow up with that lead for you on your behalf, right? It's gonna send emails, okay? A good CRM will send emails. It might send text messages, okay? It might even drop voicemails on your behalf, literally. Every single day, every week, every month, whatever you tell your CRM to do, it's gonna do, okay, on your behalf, right? And so now, ultimately, you're staying in contact with all of your leads without actually having to do that every single day. That way, you're focusing on, again, the money-making activities, and then ultimately when a lead goes from cold to warm to hot, then you can personally reach back out, follow up with the lead, get in contact, and ultimately make the sale. Obviously, this is just one example, okay, of a system or a process that you could use, but I encourage you, right, you're watching this video, to Google systems and processes for the real estate agent space, okay? And what does that look and feel like, right? Obviously, this is big. CRM, I can tell my CRM to tell me what to do, right? What do I mean by that? I can say, hey, CRM, I need to follow up with this lead in a month. And then I can forget about that lead for an entire month, and in a month, I'm gonna log into my CRM, because I do that every morning at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or whatever the time is, and my CRM is actually gonna tell me what to do that day rather than me tell it what to do, okay? So again, guys, systems and processes, okay? Maybe it's people, right? Maybe you build a big enough team to where you can get an assistant, you can get a transaction coordinator, so you're not doing your documents, right? You're not filling out all these crazy freaking documents, and somebody else can do that for you. Okay, moving along, social media, right? Are normal agents using social media? Okay, I'm just curious. Are normal agents using social media? I would imagine that they're not, right? So what do I mean? I mean, you can get onto Facebook, right? Are you on Facebook? Are you in every Facebook group, right? Are you going in to the groups in your area and adding yourself into the groups, going to the meetups, right? Talking to people, networking with people. Are you on Instagram, okay? Are you branding yourself as a local expert, okay? You're the local expert in Atlanta, Georgia, or in New Hampshire, and freaking wherever it is, okay? Are you the local expert? When somebody associates your name, when they think of your name, do they associate it with real estate, right? With buying or selling real estate, okay? Are you on LinkedIn, okay? okay? I for sure spelled that wrong. Are you on LinkedIn, okay? And are you leveraging this? LinkedIn right now is still wide open, right? There is no algorithm on LinkedIn, unlike Facebook and Instagram. So what does that mean? That means that everybody sees your posts, okay? That also means that you can reach out to people. There's emails, there's phone numbers, right? You have literally, you have contact information for buyers and sellers, other real estate agents, right? Maybe you reach out to other agents in other markets and you research the top 10 markets where people are moving from into your area, right? So you live in Phoenix, Arizona, okay? Where are people coming from to Phoenix, right? Phoenix is one of the fastest growing, Maricopa County is one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing county in the United States of America, right? Where are people coming from? Well, they're coming from Sacramento, right? They're coming from Texas. They're coming from, okay, where are they coming from? And then are you reaching out to agents in those areas saying, hey, I'm the guy, right? Or I'm the girl. Send me your referrals. I'll pay you a 25% referral fee. I'm going to keep 75% and I'm going to take amazing care of the client, okay? Are you on YouTube, right? YouTube is obviously not an easy algorithm to crack, but you also don't need to make informational videos. You could just make a much simpler video targeting your demographic, whoever it is that is going to buy or sell real estate in your area, right? In your location, okay? So maybe within 10 or 20 or 30 miles of your area, you might be talking about, hey, here's the home values in the area. Here's the median price. Here's, what the rates are doing, right? Here's the growth of the market, okay? Is it inclining? Is it declining? Is it time to buy now? Is it time to sell now? Right? Should you be renting? Should you be buying? These are things that you can make videos on, right? You can go to a local title company and you can get these statistics, right? Take this statistic and literally just make a video on it, okay? If you're not good in front of the camera, then maybe you blog about it, right? You write about it, or maybe you post it on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, okay? Twitter, right? Are you tweeting, okay? Random things throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. Again, guys, this is just a very simplified version of what you could be doing on social media. Okay, and I encourage you, if you're not on social media, okay, you should be. So go ahead, by the way, speaking of social media, and like the freaking video, okay, before I keep going. Did you like it? I'm serious. Like, just like the video right now, okay? I really appreciate it. All right, guys, moving on. Main objectives, right? What is your duty and obligation and responsibility as a real estate agent, okay? When you're representing the seller, what's your job, right? Your fiduciary to the seller is to net them the most money possible as quickly as possible. That's it, right? That's your job. So when you're representing the seller, what are you doing? Well, you're negotiating on their behalf, right? You're presenting all of the offers. You're guiding them and showing them what offer could potentially net them the most money, right? You're taking everything into account. You're figuring out the difference between the terms and the price and the down payment and what type of financing the buyer's trying to use, et cetera, right? If you're representing the buyer, you're trying to get them the best deal possible. Right? You're trying to net the seller the least amount of money possible, okay? You want to get the buyer the best deal possible, right? So who are you representing? What is your objective? And are you worthy of the commission you're about to make, right? And these are questions that I'd be asking myself, by the way, okay? So, understand this, right? What are you doing and what value do you bring to the marketplace that other agents aren't bringing, right? Because if other agents are just sitting there scrolling through the MLS all day, not really doing anything, twiddling their thumbs, and you're doing 10 or 15 different things on a daily basis, literally going above and beyond for the seller, for the buyer, when negotiating, right? And you're taking all out massive action, then do you or do you not deserve to make more money, okay? I'm sure that the answer is that you do deserve to make more money, okay? Who are you connected to, right? Most agents, you're like, hey man, I need a good lender. They're like, well, I don't really know a good lender, but I'll Google one. No, you should be going out there and making relationships with lenders, right? Title companies, inspectors, okay? Pool guys, freaking termite guys, okay? Loan modification guys, right? You should have connections with everybody. That way when your client, buyer or seller, says, hey Austin, hey whoever, right? I need a blank. You're like, hey, I got a blank, right? And he's the best of the best, or she's the best of the best. Hey, this lender is the best of the best. Maybe you have 3 lenders, right? And that way you're never thrown under the bus. You're like, hey, I tell you what, I'm going to give you 3 lenders. That way you can pick which one you like the best. But by the way, I know all 3 of them are awesome, okay? That's exactly what you should be doing, right? You shouldn't wait until you get asked the question to make the relationships. Also, what can these connections do for you? They can give you freaking leads, okay? Your lender should give you leads, especially if you're giving them leads, okay? So if you're giving your lender leads, they should be giving you leads, right? If you're giving your title company leads, they should give you leads. If you're giving your inspector leads, they should give you leads, okay? So, guys, this is a total, this is a two-edged sword, okay? At the end of the day, you know, real estate is pretty simple, right? It's pretty freaking simple. It's a consistent action day in and day out of just making it happen and doing things that other people aren't willing to do, right, at the end of the day. And by the way, it's that way with any industry, okay? So understand that. What are some things that you need to be doing? I would take notes if I were you, okay, right here, right now. You need to be making phone calls, right? Are you going to call expires? Are you going to call fsbos? Are you going to call, who are you going to call? Are you just going to cold call? Do you want to skip trace a certain area, right? This goes back to what we were talking about before, okay? Your lender can literally get you a list of people or sellers or homeowners in a certain area. You can skip trace, they'll help you, right? That's what they're for. They're going to spend their marketing money, make them spend their marketing money, and then you can make phone calls to those people in that area that you're farming, or maybe you're holding an open house on, inviting them to an open house, right? You're going above and beyond. You're doing this, okay? How many calls are you going to make a day, right? Set a goal. Okay, at the end of the day, if you don't have a number of what you're going to do every single day and it's not specifically outlined, you're just dreaming in the clouds, right? You got to have a number for it to be a goal. Okay, what are you doing? Meeting with clients, right? Are you meeting with clients? Okay, are you taking your buyers out and doing a buyer consultation, getting a coffee, buying them a coffee, buying them a freaking beer, whatever you need to buy them, right? Go build a bear at the Build a Bear workshop. Okay, whatever you got to do. Studying the market. Okay, do you know what the hell you're doing? If your person's like, if your client's like, hey, you know, what's the average price point in 90210, right? What is it? Okay, you should know that, right? You should know the questions or the answers to the questions, okay? Previewing homes, right? Are you going above and beyond all by yourself and looking at houses before they even realize that it's on the market? So you can call, you can say, hey, Sally, you know, I know that we talked last month, you're looking at it for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom here in Gilbert, Arizona. Well, I tell you what, I went out today, I was in the area, this one hit the market, I didn't want to tell you, I wanted to go look at it first, but by the way, I think it fits your criteria perfectly. But here's some pictures, here's a link, and I talked to the seller, or the seller's agent, and we can go look at it tomorrow between 3 and 5, okay? Open houses, are you doing open houses? 3 open houses, 4, 5 a week, okay? These are things you need to be doing. Client appreciation, okay? Are you doing client appreciation events, right? You closed 10 deals last year. What are you doing to stay in contact with these people, okay? Networking with other agents, right? Are you networking with other agents, like what we talked about before, in your area and out of your area, okay? These are just a couple of things, by the way, that you should be doing. I'm happy to make more videos on things that you should do as a real estate agent, but guys, at the end of the day, if you're not doing things to elevate you, right, to get you to the goal, okay, then what are you really doing, right? You're not an entrepreneur, you're not a business owner, and you're not a good real estate agent, right? And you're never going to succeed at any other business if you can't succeed as a real estate agent. If you can't succeed at one thing, remember, how you do anything is how you do everything, okay? So if you can't do it here, what makes you think you're going to be able to do it somewhere else? Right? It's just not practical. It doesn't make sense. It's an unrealistic expectation to set on your life and your business. Guys, with that, I appreciate you watching this video. Drop in the comment section down below what you would like to see in a future video, and I'd be happy to potentially make that for you guys. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.